And we should be going live here shortly.
Next door.
I
That's
gotta
my
get a
boss.
better this.
You have to cut your mic off if not in the mic.
Huh?
You have to cut your mic off if you're not talking to the.
Oh,
Can't hear
okay.
the background know what you're talking.
All right.
All right, here we go, y'all.
Oh,
Good
wait a minute.
afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the BIPOC LGBT plus happy hour. BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, people of color. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this happy Friday. Hopefully, everybody is having a great day. How's the audience? How's our panel doing today?
Fine.
Hello, panel. Make sure everybody's there and can hear me.
Doing all right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, today, everybody, we're gonna have a open discussion, and our discussion is gonna run today on voting and also the possible voting of Kanye West. I'm gonna let Dennis come in and talk a little bit more about our conversation. How you doing, Dennis?
I'm fine. My conversation about Kanye is going to win the election this year.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, I mean, don't you think?
I have no thought about Kanye.
Yeah, he got 6% of the vote. He won.
Kanye got what?
He got 6% of the vote. He can win.
And that does what? I still live on my thought process. He's a beat maker. He's good at his job. He can make money. He can sell shoes. He can sell his God theory. All of that. That doesn't mean he can run America. Look at what we got now. We have a reality TV show host, and we see that he's not able to run America. So I'm not gonna put faith in him either.
But
Once he
African-American.
Once he get into politics and I can follow and know what he's thinking, then I may follow him. That's my opinion. Anybody else? What do you think? You avoiding your answer.
I think he's
I honestly think. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Dennis.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dennis. I want to hear yours first.
I think that he's an African-American. He'll be the second African-American in office. I think that, we need something like that to boost our society up.
Just so he can sit at the desk and do nothing. We already got somebody sitting at the desk doing nothing.
They've been doing nothing for
He don't know nothing about what he's talking about, so why would you want him sitting at the desk?
Oh my God. You talking about me? Oh, my bad.
They've been doing nothing for 20 years, so all of a sudden you want them to do something?
Well, that's the concept. Every year we should get better, not go backwards. Bro, what were you thinking? If your mic could work this time.
I was thinking personally, because we all know that he got these mental health problems, and plus his wife even came out and said it, and it seems like, the Republican Party is the main one pushing him to be on all of these platforms anyway. So I feel like really the Republican Party is trying to manipulate Kanye West so they can try to steer as many votes away from the Black community and put all that into Joe Biden losing out on votes, which may end up with Donald Trump coming out with a closer loss, hopefully, or even a win. So I feel like that's what's really going on, but who knows?
So Black people only vote for Democrats, they can't vote for nobody else?
I don't understand why that would have a question. I mean, why that would even be a question. We're talking about the participants in this election. We didn't say nothing about Democrat or Republican. We're talking about actual participants in the election. It just so happens that all of Donald Trump's minions and the Republicans are pushing Kanye to do this. That's what we're saying. We're not saying it's a Democrat or Republican issue. It's just that the Republicans happen to be ganging up for Kanye to go forward with no political experience at all.
Is that a fact, or is that what we predicted that is true? Because I'm looking at this like a person want to run in America, they should be able to run in America, no matter who they are. I think that that's the problem with us, is that allow people to do what they need to do in America. We
Okay,
dictate
what are you gonna run and you're not gonna do anything? Again, it goes back to my example. You might as well have the sewer man in there
Do you know
running
the
for
future?
president.
You don't know what this man can and cannot do.
I don't. I can go by
But
what
you
he
put that
said.
trust in all the other
He'll
white
tell
men.
you. He told you. I know nothing about politics. It doesn't take a white man to tell you that. If he tells you I know nothing about politics, but I'm a run, that does not give
The
me
ones that
confidence
do know
just
about
because he's a
politics ain't
black man.
doing nothing either.
I'm still not
Oh
gonna
my God.
vote for him.
I will. I'm going to vote for him because I think he would make a good president. Because if Donald Trump can be president, he can be president.
Please, somebody in this panel, talk to a brother. Help me out.
Everybody-
Donna Black, you
personally
got.
feel
I'm
like
calling for you.
okay, no, go ahead. I want to hear some.
But why? Why? I mean, why? What makes him a good candidate for the president? Take your
Good
mute.
question.
You gotta unmute yourself. I need to understand.
I don't think he's a good president. He's a good candidate for president. I personally feel like my vote is better just being held all together because of the fact of how I expressed it. I feel like Kanye West may be being used as a puppet right now, and he's not in the right mental state to be running in the first place. And I think that between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, if you were to go policy-wise, which what I would like to do, Donald Trump is proposing more better policies. But we all know it's not really going to come to fruition. So is you going to vote for Joe Biden, which is giving us mediocre, you know what I'm saying, options? It's like, I feel like and then not to mention the sexual allegations that he got going on, as well as Donald Trump. So I don't really feel comfortable voting for neither one of those candidates. So I feel like my vote is just better just being held all together and just letting whatever happen.
So you're not going to vote?
And you feel like that if you do vote, either way, nothing's going to change in your life. I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
Correct. Because if I would have voted, I just got bad options. And I'm a little cynical. So I feel like since the Democratic Party haven't done anything to truthfully try to remove Donald Trump, and he's already done all of this stuff, I feel like they're just sitting there. It's kind of like they're not voting too. You get what I'm saying? Because they didn't really come with a good, they didn't really come really hard when they was trying to impeach Donald Trump. So.
Okay, so this is, I think, going back to a conversation we had, I don't know, a couple of days ago at one of the other happy hours. We talked about the need to have civics education because one, the reason he wasn't impeached was because he was not convicted in the Senate. The Democrats only control one part of our U.S. congressional structure, and they did what they could do in the body of government that they controlled. But when it got to the Senate, there was no conviction. And so therefore he could not be impeached. And so the founding fathers, be it like President Obama said the other night, the shit wasn't perfect, but it did allow for checks and balances in the different levels of government that we have. That's why no one level has all absolute power. We have 3 branches of government so that we have those checks and balances. And as far as what you were saying about not much changing, I will agree with you. As Black folks, we have been giving our votes to Democrats for a very long time. We have not seen a lot of the changes that we'd like to see in our community happen. However, again, going back to what President Obama said the other night, there is a certain amount of responsibility that we have as citizens of this country to to inform ourselves, to know sort of what is going on, because these people, they are making decisions that are telling you how you get to live your life. Whether or not, you know, if you were gay, if you can get married, or whether or not, you know, if you're done serving your time, whether or not you can vote. These people, you know, what you get paid an hour for the minimum wage, they're all making these decisions about your life. Some of the things we don't like those decisions. But if we don't engage beyond voting, okay, voting is one part. There's this whole other piece of the process where we get involved with giving them ideas for policy. They don't always have all the answers. Why? Because they don't know what it's like to live in our lives. And so they're sitting up there coming up with solutions that they think is going to help us. You know what I'm saying? Because they got whatever savior complex, whatever. They thinking that shit's going to work. But if we're not there to help say, you actually know that's not going to work, here's what's going to work, we won't ever get those changes that we want to see. And so we'll continue to keep voting and not getting any sort of wins on the outcomes we want because we don't participate in that other piece of the process. You got to do more than just vote. And I'm speaking from experience. I've changed a lot of laws in the state. I helped with banning the box, helped with passing same-sex marriage here. Also helped defeating that amendment so we didn't put it in our Constitution that marriage was between a man and a woman. Helped sending the first Black woman from the city of St. Paul to our state legislature. So I've been involved in some wins, so I know how to change policy. And so what I'm saying is that you need to vote. One, because even though some of the policies that Trump and the Republicans have been enacting may not have been impacting you personally, they're impacting other folks in a just like fucked up way. Families are getting torn apart. You know what I'm saying? And that
absolutely.
And so we're voting, and I know people always say they don't like to do the lesser of two evils, but these Democrats, we have a structure working within this party that if we wanted to, we can overtake that shit. We don't engage enough, so we don't overtake that shit. But we can if we really wanted to. Why? Because people of color have the majority of their base. And they win no elections without us, especially Black people. And so what I like about what's happening this year is there are all kinds of Black groups that are demanding now that we get some shit for our votes. Now that I think is promising. If we can just get a fucking collective agenda, I think we might be onto some shit. Okay, I'm done preaching. Sorry, y'all.
No, okay. No, I like what you said, but if I could clarify what I was trying to say, because I completely agree with you. We do need to vote. I just feel like this election in particular is kind of a lost cause. But as far as voting for your mayors and your city and state representatives, that's very important. And I feel like that's what we should be focusing on. But as far as this election, I feel like the Democrat and all that stuff, it already kind of exposed itself of not caring. And I feel like this election is just really just trying to pacify everybody to say, okay, well, we got him out of office. Like, but that's not enough is what I'm trying to say to make me want to go out and vote. So that's just to clarify what I was saying, because I do agree with what you're saying fully.
That's the voice of the youth talking. So I'm trying to figure out how do we change that idea that is worth more than that right now, since we've been through this before in the past, and they don't want to feel that way like they just gave up. Because I said the same thing. Where is the money at that the Democrats will spend this year? They stopped because of COVID. It's still not like twinkling like it's supposed to. So I'm trying to figure out where's an extra cash that they didn't have for COVID-19, all the other things. They already had money saved up in the pot somewhere, and they still not spending it. So what's really going on? And that's my whole point. Like, is all the youth in this way?
I can't speak on all the youth, but I can say, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of an exception, to be honest, because most of you really, as far as I can tell, is just going to vote for Joe Biden just because, or just like I said, is not going to vote. But as the polling that I seen, and that's on Fox News and everything, like CNN and NBC, all of the polls is showing that it's pretty much going to be a landslide regardless. So that's why I feel like I don't even really got to step out and do anything. So yeah, and then like I said with Kanye's situation, that's not even a factor. So
Well, let me remind you of the last election.
Thank you.
Hillary Clinton won by 3 million votes.
But they
But yet,
also
the Electoral College did it against China. She
They also
ultimately lost.
all the polls predicted that she would win. Don't trust polls. I don't trust polls because they only talk to a segment of registered voters, and a lot of folks that are in our communities are not a part of those conversations, and so we haven't had our say in our way into those conversations. So I don't trust polls all the time. So.
Well, even going forward with let's just imagine that the Biden party does make it through. I believe this is an historical moment because there is a black female in behind the scenes as being VP. She is always behind the scenes and always moving. This is an opportunity for people in your age bracket to see what black people can actually do. We've never been in this situation. I mean, the first black president didn't come until I was an old man. So these are things that are still all new to us, to see us actually in these job roles and actually see how we can fulfill. Because I don't care what anybody says about Barack Obama. After 8 years, that man left everybody with health care. Their great grandma could go to the doctor. And today, nobody has it because of
but
the
I feel
current
like
administration.
Ray, you old.
Not today. Go ahead, Ro. What was you saying?
oh I lost it. I lost what you were saying.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying we are on a path to progress. Now's the opportunity. We got an opportunity to see what a black male would do in that position,
Oh,
Barack as president. Now we have an opportunity to see what a black female will do as VP, even though secretly she is making her pathway to president. She probably will make it to the first black female president. I just wanted to throw that a little bit. That's a conversation for another day. But this is the perfect segue to get her in as president. And she's
right.
qualified mentally and physically for the job.
But I feel like even with Barack Obama being elected as president, that just kind of exposed the whole government as just how much of a puppet that the presidency seat really is. Donald Trump only really had, I feel like I really don't know what's going on with Donald Trump. He just got all these people, I guess because the stock market is doing super good right now, but yet we still losing all these jobs and everything. That might have something to do with it, but
You think?
Well, also, again, why do we allow them to measure the progress of the economy based on the stock market when only 20%, I don't even know if that's the right percentage, but everybody and their mama ain't on the stock market, you know what I'm saying? And so why are we letting them say this is the indicator of a strong economy? Because it's false. It provides outlook on what everyday people are dealing with, struggling with and dealing with. People are facing evictions. They haven't went and extended moratoriums and things. And so, yeah, again, it's like, how are we controlling that narrative? We're letting them tell us, this shit is great. The economy is great, but they're only looking at this one indicator, which it ain't applying to us. I mean, yeah, I got some 401k, but like everybody got 401k? No.
Mm-hmm. And then also I have to use Mike Bloomberg's words. Why would we hire this man again for another 4 years? When Barack left, we were balling. I don't care if you liked him or not. Everybody had money. We all had jobs. We had health care. Today, it's not like that. And we haven't even made 4 years from that time span. Why would you give that man a second opportunity for the job?
It's not
just on that basic principle. We know who had that job, and you can't get away. You got to have that job.
it's not that I honestly hate to say it like that because I don't want to give him any type of advantage towards winning. But at the same given token, like I said, the Democratic Party sat idly by while he literally tore apart our government and tore down all these restrictions and regulations that we have in place. Just sat there, did just a little practice or just a pretend charade impeachment because they didn't attack any other actual things that they could have attacked them on, the stuff that they really had the evidence on. They just made a broad impeachment just to satisfy the public, and then they pushed that by. So if the Democratic Party want to keep on doing that, then I feel like I will give them every chance to expose themselves to as many people as possible. Because if Donald Trump serves another complete 4 years and didn't do, we kind of got an answer about what's going on in the government.
Well, are you frozen?
No, I just don't know what else to say. I was like the end of what? That was everything.
But you feel that, I mean, if you give your vote to Kanye, don't you feel you give your vote to Donald Trump?
Exactly. That's the reason why I won't vote for Kanye neither.
So, I mean, if you don't vote at all or don't have anybody you're going to vote for, what does that mean?
I feel like what I should do is be educating myself more about our local elections and stuff like that and start there and wait for the next one.
So you voted before? You voted?
So there are some local offices on this ballot, okay? So even if you don't vote in the presidential office, your local House representative, your local senator here in the state is also on that ballot. And those folks that are making laws here for how we live our lives in Minnesota, we need you to vote for them too. Next year, you'll get to vote for mayor, city council, maybe depending on where you live, school board, and things like that. But there are other offices on the ballot too that, you know, we need you to vote for. Usually they're judges. I don't think this year they're judges, but, you know, you'll be able to vote for those folks, DAs. You know what I'm saying? If you're in Hennepin County, I'm sure somebody will be running against Mike Freeman, you know, vote his ass out. But yeah, so.
Do you think Mike Freeman should be voted out? Sonny, do you think Mike Freeman should be voted out? I don't know who
Mike Freeman is.
Mike Freeman is Minneapolis city attorney.
District attorney, yeah.
District attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really disappointed with the outcome of the last election because the guy that was running against him, Markazi, actually has a record in community of fighting for second chance policies at our state capitol. I worked with him personally for years, passing the ban the box policies. They got really, really close to getting felon voting rights restored here in our state. But he's been, I think, a really great advocate. And there were lots of wins, Democratic wins. Hold on, y'all. I gotta go inside. My kids call.
That can happen every now and then. It's the happy hour.
You know?
Dennis, I didn't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, this new technology. I'm gonna figure it out. Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering, you know, knowing what we know and knowing that, you know, not to decide, the greater of two evils is what we got to choose from. But I really think the Biden ticket, you know, being a first, it'll be a historical first. I think that's something I want to vote for. Even if I have to choose Biden, I'm choosing a historical first by having a woman on the ticket. And that leaves way to a lot of other things, I think, more than just throwing your vote away. You know, it's some wham-wham thing. So I mean, at least I
Your
know.
vote would allow a glass ceiling to be broken.
Yes,
If
Hillary
nothing
Clinton.
else, there's one more to get that glass ceiling broken.
Well,
Women can do as much as men,
I,
especially black women.
yeah, I'm thankful for people like y'all, cause I don't got it in me to vote for neither one of those people. None of those three votes. I supported the Bernie Sanders campaign. I donated to the Bernie Sanders campaign. I was a really good down to earth Bernie Sanders supporter. But once all of that tomfoolery happened at those elections, it's like, okay, yeah. It
What
just further
tomfoolery are
shows
you
me
talking?
more and
What
more
tomfoolery are
that
you
I
referring to?
really do not need to. I'm referring to what was those elections where Bernie Sanders leading up to it, he was winning everywhere and it was projected for him to win. But as soon as Joe Biden, or no, what was it, Joe Biden had announced that he won early, all of those votes started going into Joe Biden because people start thinking that Joe Biden was going to win. And I feel like that's tore a lot of momentum from Joe. And then on top of that, everybody dropped out at the exact same time just to put their vote in and support Joe Biden. And we didn't even get Elizabeth Warren. She still lost, never to be heard from, but yet she thought she was going to be vice president. So it's just like all of this stuff just shows people, hopefully it's other people that think like I do. It's like, this is not real.
Oh, it's real. Just because you think it's not real, it's still real. They're still going into those
It's real.
positions. They're still going into those positions, and they're still going to make decisions about your life, whether
Yeah.
we believe it's real or not, or it seems fictitious. They're still going to be making those decisions about your life.
But
So, in a case like this, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think we're trying to say that so much food is going around, like it's gonna make a difference anyway if we vote or not. They're gonna do what they want to do. What's the deal that's gonna make it change all of a sudden or happen a certain way because we say something this time?
We elect different people who view the world how we view the world. That's why I think it's important for people that are making policy to have personal experience around the policies that they're crafting. Um, I think that is helpful. I think it's helpful having people from our communities that are a part of those conversations.
I'll agree with that. Even like for the presidency, I don't understand how you can be president of the United States and you pretty much not lived like the people of the United States. You live in a glass bubble that few are able to get involved in their life. So how are you making decisions on my life? That's how I feel. So I agree with you, Ro, on a lot of stuff. I mean, just as experience has taught me to allow the change, whether I like it or not. I just have to go with it and hope for the best.
Yeah. But I feel like how Sana, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but that's like how she was saying.
Right.
I feel like we got to vote for our local official and try to build it up, because the more people that we have is going to press for what's the word I'm looking for? It's a lot of pressure on those higher officials to actually do right by the people. Because if you have all of these elected officials telling them, in my community, this 1, 2, 3, 4 is what we need to go forward on, and you're steady bypassing it, I feel like it's gonna have I don't know.
Well, no,
I
I
don't
get
know.
what you're saying, yes. But that's where Simon was talking about we have to be more engaged in these community affairs. If
Mm-hmm.
nobody's telling our representatives we want police reform. This is what we want and this is how we want it. If we're not telling nobody that, why would they think it's broken and we need reform? We're now just at the point to where it was great seeing after George Floyd's death. It was great seeing all the mix of multiracial and all these racial people out here discussing police reform. That is a great thing. That's the only reason that's the only way they heard it. We damn near had to burn down Minnesota for them to hear it. But again, that's the only way. If we must stay engaged in this, and to let our elected officials know what we're discussing.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki, good to see you.
I saw y'all on Facebook. I said, hold up, wait a minute.
So we're gonna let Kanye this year. You gonna vote for Kanye?
What?
I was asking if you gonna vote for Kanye this year.
Kanye West?
Yes.
Hell no. Would you? Would you?
Why
What are your
not?
personal thoughts about him? What is your thoughts about him?
My thoughts about Kanye West, I liked his first album before,
Beatmaker.
well, whatever it was, and then his story, which he had a good one.
Mhm.
And I thought that, I liked the relationship that he had with his mother. And then I think that after his mother passed, he kind of deteriorated. Well, he kind of just went off on a tangent and still came back.
So you don't think he's viable for president to be president?
Hell no.
Well, Dennis, let me ask you, what qualifications do you feel that Kanye may have other than being a black man? Since that
Well,
seems to be the only.
okay, listen, outside of him being a black man, no, he's not capable. But listen, by being a black
Okay.
man, I'm saying the lesser of two evils, Kanye or another Caucasian. I'm just saying, like, you
When you
elected
look at
Donald Trump.
I mean, hopefully we won't have two. We won't have the beat maker and another TV has been vying for presidency anymore.
Donald Trump can't wait to say you fired.
Well, my
Right.
thing is now, if you was talking about Tupac Shakur, who was a rapper, activist, philosopher, different story. Kanye West, I don't put those titles under his belt. He
But what
never
about his lyrics?
Word.
I agree.
Oh well, his lyrics. Okay, maybe he didn't write them. Maybe
Uh,
somebody else wrote it.
Are you saying Kanye don't write his own lyrics? He just
I
make
didn't-
beats?
I didn't say that.
Okay, I was just asking.
I didn't say that. He asked about his lyrics. I said maybe he didn't write them. That's all I said.
You are clearly understood.
Well, now that's true too, because most of the Democrats got ghostwriters that write their material. What's the difference?
Everybody has a speech writer, whether you're Democrat or Republican. Why
I'm
is there
saying,
such
why
why
they
is there
make
such a leeway?
Kanye
I
do
mean,
too then? If he didn't write his music, he got a ghostwriter. What's the difference?
that
Different
still
than-
translates you cannot run the presidency. Huh?
That's standard in politics to have a speechwriter. In the rap game, lyricists used to be important, and being able to write your own rhymes or freestyle out the top of the dome to a beat used to be
Yes.
important.
That clarified whether you are OG or not.
That's classic hip hop.
Yes. So can Kanye West just
there's some
hit
diamonds
like
in the
that?
rough.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but I mean, being a devil's advocate, I was just wondering. He is a black man. He is worth $3 billion. He should be able to run for president, and he shouldn't have an issue.
Why would you run? Why even
Kanye
running?
West
You
worth
have no
$3 billion.
qualifications.
Huh?
Why? Okay, yeah.
What
everybody
qualifies
knows
him to
right, but
run other than a black man? Oh, he got $3 billion. What is the qualifications other than being
When he
black?
get
Then he's
$3
got money.
billion, didn't he just go bankrupt?
Dennis, I vote for you before I did Kanye West.
Didn't Kim Kardashian just bail Kanye out? I'm confused.
Well, I don't know how that
Rick G's and
works,
Hov-
but now he's worth $3.2 billion.
For making beats, making songs, singing church songs, not for doing politics. Does not translate. I want to elect him for a president because he's black and he's got $3 billion. That does
I
not
know.
translate. That makes no
And-
sense.
Right. Who fucking cares?
Mike Bloomberg did the same thing, and y'all don't get mad at him.
Mike Bloomberg's been in politics. Mike
And
Bloomberg
and Mike
has held
Bloomberg
every
ain't no rapper.
right.
Ain't no
Mike-
rapper.
Right, Mike Bloomberg has held every position in politics. He knows his trade. Just like Kanye knows his trade. He knows music and tennis shoes and a couple of gospel songs. Ain't nobody trying to move him out of his lane. But why you jumping in a lane you know nothing about? Just because you black and we gonna start voting for you?
Ooh, shit, I know,
Sure.
right?
Kanye West is worth $3 billion, bro.
Yeah. Does that
Who
make
cares?
him a president?
Who cares?
I just say his hustle game is tight.
I know he didn't make all that money off that clothing line he got.
He signed with Gap, Yeezy, got Yeezy shoes. He got Beats. He writing songs
Oh,
with
man.
everybody.
And now all of a sudden Dennis talking about he should be president. Craziness.
$3 billion. Everybody was talking about Dr. Dre. How come nobody said nothing about Kanye?
He surpassed Jay-Z, because Jay-Z and him were $1 billion.
And that's collectively.
Right.
Still does not say voted for president. Two different conversations.
Man, whatever. I would vote for him.
Thank you.
I'm not voting for him.
And I don't want to promote it either. I wouldn't
Now
promote
I'll
that.
go with I'll go with Dennis said earlier. He's trying to start up another party. Okay, if you're starting up a party, start from the bottom and raise it to the top. That's cool. But don't just come in
Bro,
and
we gonna
pick
find out
everybody.
who's the real crazies
that-
if he do that.
But that takes the vote away from other people when he does that.
Well, if he does it in the next 2024, that's cool. If you start at the beginning, we'll know who you are. We'll see your political accomplishments. You know?
So
At
can
least
we
Nikki
can we
said,
raise my theory?
can we raise what?
Because I kind of just said that.
Right. Dennis didn't hear you.
But he gonna raise what theory?
I just said that. I feel like Kanye West, the Republican Party is trying to use Kanye West to siphon the black votes from Joe Biden.
That,
And you just pointed out another reason why.
that could be, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
The only states that Kanye tried to register his name to be on the ballot are the states that Donald Trump is lowest ratings in. He wasn't trying to be in all 50 states. Why are you running and trying to be on the ballot if you're not going to be in all 50 states?
He might have
That
tried.
automatically is a
I think he
setup.
probably. Who knows? I mean, who knows? Because it could be the fact that because, as we already see what Donald Trump was going on, it seemed like he might not even leave office after, even if he is.
He don't have no choice.
So
He don't have choice.
he don't have a choice. but the
Constitution told his
Democratic
ass
Party-
he out. Find a roommate.
Is the Democratic Party gonna do something?
Democratic Party has been the only party that's ever said anything. You keep saying they've not done anything. Remember, it was the Democratic Party that even did impeachment. The Republicans have said nothing. Even when he gets up there and he does the homophobe, Islamophobe, xenophobe, all of that, they say nothing. If there hadn't been for the Democratic Party, there would have been no challenge to what Trump has done. You'd already been a Russian.
But look how long it took him to do something.
Again,
How long did it take them to
they're
do
not
something?
in there by themselves. You got the House of Representatives with all you colored people, and then you got the Senate with them white folks that have told y'all we ain't doing shit to them. I don't care how much you scream big. I don't care how broke y'all are and y'all sleeping in the streets, which everybody's on their way to anyway. We ain't doing nothing, and they've told everybody to their face, we're not giving y'all no money. We don't care what Donald Trump do. He's God. He shits gold. They've said that since he's been in the office. If it had not been for the Democrats, you wouldn't have anything now. They've been the only thorn in his ass. Every time you turn around, he can't stop talking about Nancy Pelosi. So that's
Yeah.
one thing. That's the only thing you hear him talk about. Democrat, Democrat, Democrat. That's the only thing that has stopped him from going as far as he has.
Mm.
I mean,
He's flexing a lot.
say what?
He's
Well, then Donald,
flexing.
I'm glad he
He's
did.
flexing some muscle.
Well, I'm glad Donald Trump is doing what he's done because it has forced a lot of people that look like you and I to get involved and actually, what the fuck is really happening? You know, to actually review
I didn't
and
start.
research what these people are. Like I said, I started late. I didn't care, but now that I'm involved, I wish I'd have done it a lot sooner. But that's the only way you're gonna get laws or anything changed to make black people better is get it on paper. Make sure we got policies enacted.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's the goal now is for all of us to figure out what policies we need other than for them to rewrite the Constitution that all men are created equal. And so they can take that comma out that says, comma, not black, but all men are created equal. That's what needs to, that's the ultimate goal, to have that rewritten so everybody is equal. And at this point, I think we are in a better situation now for us to get that. And we had a better opportunity to get something like that with the Biden ticket with Kamala Harris on it than we've been closer at this at any other time. Because
I don't want to discourage nobody
Barack could
from
only
voting
do
for Kamala
anything.
Harris.
Mhm.
And vote for him. I don't want to discourage nobody. Vote.
No, it's not
If
a
you gonna
discussion, it's a
vote,
conversation.
I'm just saying, me personally, that's what I feel, and this is the reason why I feel. So, if anybody feel the same way, I don't know. I'm just saying this is the reason why. But if you gonna vote, I'm all aboard with you.
Well, I just want to make sure everybody has a hear all sides of the conversation, because in our conversation, we can learn something from each other. Because I don't have all the answers, and I'm not expecting you to have all the answers, but together we can come up with some answers and see a pathway to make things work. I don't know if anybody agrees with me, but this is the only option I can see going.
But I really think that the educational piece, because I mean, I sat here today and I listened to some of the things that Sonny was saying, and I learned something today, trying to keep up with that on local elections, what's really going on. I think that we pay attention to that. I think the national election can be changed because local elections predict what's going to happen nationally. So hopefully we can think about, how that plays into what we're going to really be doing.
I think that's something we should take on this year, is to get more involved in our local politics. I mean, to get the educational piece out about local politics, because they don't teach this in school.
Oh, wait.
And as blacks, a lot tend to stay away from politics as far as possible. And that's something we need to stay in contact with so we can make those changes.
So it's not connecting. What did you do to it? I didn't do nothing.
Nikki,
We can see and hear you.
we can see and hear you, sweetie. Don't be getting at the babies.
I thought I had it on mute.
Nope.
It's all good. This is Virgo season out here. I don't know who Virgos are not. But the horoscope for the day for the Virgos is one of your closest friends is missing you. And it says, get there as soon as you can. I don't know what that means, but I guess the Virgos can figure that one out. Like, one of your friends is missing you and they want you to get there as soon as you can.
What month is Virgo?
Virgo is August to September.
What part in August? I mean, it's not the whole month, is it?
It's like the 21st through the 20th, something like that. It's September 15th.
Well, while we're here, I mean, are there any local announcements we got this week, or anything going on we should be informing anybody of?
Local things is going on. I think that one thing is going on. I think that everybody should mail in their votes if they can, or do that right away. Like get out, go to absentee ballots, whatever it is. Figure out, vote. If it's Kanye, write it down in there. But at least you get the right to vote, no matter who you vote for. So take that right seriously and vote. That's what I really, that's what we this week. Everything, vote like your lives depended on
I'm
it.
gonna vote for you, Cam. I want to be
Definitely
just
vote
like you
like
when I grow up.
well, definitely vote like your life depended on it. So everybody get your early voting done. Please do not wait until November nothing to vote. Try to have all that done in the month of October. You can early vote in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And you can at this moment go ahead and go to vote.gov to get your absentee ballots mailed to your address and out of the way. It's not waiting till the last minute. Yes,
What
Ms.
I'm,
Nikki.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to be talking with my daughter and watching and teaching her because this will be her first year, primary voting. And I want to take her to the spot, get the little experience. So, but I was gonna do that and I did, but I changed my mind.
Oh, you mean to do the mail-in voting?
Right, I'm not gonna do that because I want to have the experience with my daughter. This is her first time. And so we could talk about it, and all up until November, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be research. I'll have her research it. We'll do it together and talk about it.
I wonder is that a project teachers are doing with their students this year? With all this
It
going
should
on,
be,
taking a field
yeah.
trip to the vote. I'm taking a field trip to a polling station and watch how the process is done. So even, getting that experience in as early as possible.
We're thinking about.
Especially when,
Go ahead, Nikki.
go ahead.
We was thinking about trying to find a way to drive people or get people to the polls this year by having somebody drive them if they need to drive in, or meeting a spot on West Broadway off of Chicago. If we get a van or a bus to take them to the polling station if they want to experience that going to the polling stations. Because I never thought about that being the first time for some people. They might want to go if you want to take your daughter to go. Even to partner with your daughter and son to do something like that, that sounds really fun. Like it's my daughter's first time. I want to take her down there physically and hold her hand so she can do it. Yes, I think that we should do parties around that. Help people get to the polls. Go ahead,
And
I'm just gonna ask this question. Oh, go ahead, Nikki.
Another thing is felons, they can vote too, but a lot of them don't know that they can because after so many years they can vote. They tell the felons that they can't vote, but they never tell them that they can again. I met someone that mentioned that, and he said after 10 years, but all this time he had not been voting because he didn't know he had his right to vote again.
Restored.
As long as they're
So
off.
we need.
I saw that.
Vote. That's correct. Yeah.
I think we need to share that with a lot of people because a lot of men don't because they think they're felons and they can't, but because it was revoked, but it has to be given, but they didn't tell them that. And see, somebody told me that, and I was like, all right, I never thought about that. I'm right, Senator.
Bobby Joe Champion, who introduced the notification bill, to try to make sure that folks were notified that their rights were restored once they completed their sentence. It didn't pass, unfortunately, but there are folks that are trying to make sure that people get notified. But in the meantime, it's up to us as advocates to help folks know that they do have a right, because in other states, sometimes their rights are revoked forever and they can't vote. But here in Minnesota, as long as you're off probation, you're off parole, completed your sentence, you are not under any restrictions with the courts or with the county.
Yep.
You can vote here in our state.
And a lot of felons do not know that.
Well, we want to up until time to vote. We want to keep stressing that on our shows that everybody is. If you're eligible, we want to make sure you know you're eligible.
But even if you're not eligible, you can help somebody that can't get to the polls that is eligible and encourage them to vote. and be involved in the process.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, good afternoon from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Dennis's mother, Elizabeth Boyd.
Well,
Good
good
evening.
afternoon, Miss Boyd. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm blessed and highly favored, and God's very good to me. I've been listening to you guys. I tried to put comments. I'm 71 going on 72, so it took me a little bit, you guys. However, I've been listening and I've been watching on Facebook. And what I wanted to say with a little experience from many, many years, I've never missed voting from the age of 18, not in the primaries or the general elections for any office. I am not trying to persuade anyone as to who to vote for. But what I would like to say from experience is, first of all, once you find out you have an idiot in office, I wouldn't care if he was an independent, socialist, or whatever he is, you get him out of there. However, there are legal ramifications because of our Constitution, and there are some people in the political process in our country that want to do the right things, which I don't blame them, and they want to do it according to the law. And this is why it has taken, in this particular case, longer than we feel it should have to get things resolved. And they're still working on it, because when people do things and they're brazen and they do things that are out of character for even our election process, you have to realize that it takes legality and rules and regulations to do it the proper way. We don't want to go at things the way that they have become to our present day. We don't want to just go randomly doing anything we choose to do just because, he's wrong, so we just go beat him over the head and kill him. No. You cannot do it that way. So from experience, it's like the old bull. He says, let's go down and get the girls. And the young bull says, well, let's run down there. He says, no, let's walk and get them all. I hope you got that. And so my perspective is that you learn more about what you are talking about. I have been to the Rosa Parks birthday celebration at Kennedy Center in 1984, a member of Black Caucus, lifetime member of NAACP. I have been active as I have walked. I have been over 3 or 4 states. I have lived in Indiana, Michigan, and now retired to Las Vegas, Nevada. And racism has been a part of this construction or the country for many, many years, because we have given them our African American, because that's what I would consider us as now that we are here, because we don't have a country to go back to. Most folk, regardless of how they are being treated or have been treated, they were never forced here. They came on their own. We were forced. And I could tell you a whole lot, and I know you don't have time for all of that, that my parents, my father was from Alabama, Opelika, who took a train one night at 12 o'clock after he'd stolen $500. It took him a year to get that amount and hide it under the house. And when he got enough, he jumped the train and came to the north. My mom from Marshall, Texas, myself from Gary, Indiana, as a young girl going down south and all with my parents, white fountains. So you haven't seen what I've seen. You haven't experienced what I've experienced. So my thing is this, not putting any accolades or trying to persuade anyone, but you must remember, I know Joe Biden is getting old, so am I. And we're going to need you guys to light the torch and grab the torch and take it a little further. But you must give people credit for what credit's due. Joe Biden has proven himself a leader. And maybe he's not as fast. I'm not either. I'm going on 72 years old. Maybe he's not as swift and as savvy with all of the new technology and things like that, but he does know what he is doing, and he has proven that. Donald Trump, whether he's Donald Trump or anyone else, McConnell, any of them, all they think about is money. You have to think about the people. Joe Biden comes from a people family. Trump comes from a money family. You didn't come from a money family, so how can you relate to such? So this is my perspective on this, and I can say more, but I know in the interest of time, I'll come on again and maybe, share some other things with you. But I just want you to know nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. I don't care if it's Kanye West, if it's Trump, if it's who. But when you see an idiot breaking down the system the way that he has done, and he has no agenda, no plans, no structure within his campaign or his political stance, then you go for someone who does have the education, the wherewithal, the proven record of what they have done, and then you weigh the differences. And then you go for the better of the two, and then you get in there and try to help do what you can. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Mama Boy.
Thank you, my boy, for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was well received and understood. Thank you.
All right. I'm listening. Go right ahead.
Oh,
But
no.
and talking
Does
about.
anybody?
Know what
Just
you're
wa-
talking about.
That was a great setup, and we've now come to an ending of our show. This has been a great Friday. I hope people have tuned in and had an opportunity to learn something from our discussion. We're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday of every week to share some knowledge with the community. And we want you all to please join us if you have any comments or any questions you have for any of the panel. Please send them in to our show, and we will definitely contact you and make sure that you are on our show the next time. So if there's anything anybody wants to say, I'll let everybody go. Anybody?
Happening on the Monday show. What is our topic that we're
Oh,
talking
Hey,
about?
we're
I
gonna
forgot.
debrief after this. We can debrief after this. Don't hang up. We just go off.
No, but this
Trial
is
is
this is
on
to
the
let everybody
election
know
ballot.
upcoming on Monday. We will be talking to the Wake and Bake crew from Minnesota Normal. So
All
turn
right.
in on Monday, 6 p.m. and you can hear about everything going on with the Minnesota marijuana situation. Please join us then. So again,
Bring your weed pipes.
bring your weed pipes
And
and all that and come join
everybody
us.
vote.
Come
Vote.
join us for the
Vote.
happy
Vote.
hour.
Vote.
And everybody
Please
vote.
vote. Vote.
Thanks everybody. Have a great weekend.
You